Yeah, no worries. Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sure, John. Good to be here. That's a good question. Really, I everybody said that Western couldn't really compete in the Lone Star Conference, and they I felt like there was a spot, and this was a good location because we're close to Tucson and Phoenix, and I'm I just confident in our guys enough to think that we could. So it was attractive. A lot of people when we were at Sagu, they couldn't. You could win with a bunch of little Christian boys that wanted to be preachers. So that was kind of the thing that just trying to prove people wrong and give give kids an opportunity to compete and play football. Mhm. Yeah, you get two types of kids, I think, is you get the one that's just, doesn't have the height or the speed to get to the Division One level, and they are just hungry to play football. And then you get the one that was, for whatever circumstances, didn't get the break and who's super athletic, but kind of has that chip on his shoulder. Um, and then with our location, we get kids from all over the place, all different nationalities. It's kind of a melting pot of guys. Um, but what you find is kids from all over. You got to try to get them to gel together, and with different reasons why they play. And they're all sacrificing something. They're paying something. So they're more bought in, I think. Yeah. 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 No, and that is a challenge. I mean, there's so many different cultural things from just the way, the kids from Texas are yes, sir, and then other kids like yes, coach, yes, coach. I mean, you just got little different things like that. But one of the things that we've done that I think has worked and it's accelerated the process for chemistry. And I know this sounds cliche, but like love doesn't have a specific language or culture. When you really love a kid, and I when I first got the job in end of March, I said, listen, I just adopted you into my family, and I might not know the same cultural stuff that you do, but man, I'm going to love you like you're my own son. And so I think that kind of bridges the gap, and then. I mean, it takes time for kids to really say, "Oh, is this guy serious? Like, does he really do that?" But I think that's really helped us, and it's like I said, bridge the gap a little bit. Yeah, yeah, it's been tough. We've had some off the field things with we lost a member of our team, and then we just had some family members that have passed away. So it's been one of those years of that I just think growth. I mean, we've grown together, and then also just growth on the field, just our competitiveness. If you look at our scores from last year compared to this year, there's some difference. And it's a process. A lot of changing a program just doesn't happen overnight or just because you want it to. Um, but the kids have really bought in, and I really have seen growth. And the win against UTPB was great for our guys. And then we were in the game last week too, and really kind of shot ourselves in the foot. So it's one of those. It's just growing, and sometimes it's painful, but it's definitely a season of growth, and I'm really proud of our guys. Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's been the challenge, and I think the hardest thing was that, like you said, he's a freshman, so some of our seniors, man, they didn't really know him very well. Um, but some of our freshmen that came in with him and had a history, they knew him in high school, and then that they really all of a sudden got close to him. So guys at completely different levels of grieving and dealing with it, I think that's been the biggest challenge. I do think it's brought our team closer together and chemistry, but here's a great example. We're in the middle of practice, and I've just got my arm around a kid, and we're just talking. And they're running drills, and my defensive line that I'm coaching is just by themselves because, man, this kid needs me. He just needs, and tears are running down his face. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a little bit more important than, if we're working our spill technique. you know. Uh, that's been the challenge, and you really don't know when it's going to hit a young man. You just have to be available all the time. And so that's been one of those things there, just kind of keeping things in perspective and being available. Yeah, and the thing with our program is a lot of the guys are new, and so we're needing to educate them a little bit on a rivalry. A lot of them just don't know because we turned over the roster a little bit, and just the nature of the beast is we haven't won the game in 14 tries, so it's not like it's been back and forth. So this is one of those things where we're saying, hey, let's renew it, and by bringing, we want to try to bring this competitive spirit back to it. Um, and what kind of, especially for our seniors that have, they didn't choose to be part of this transition. They didn't sign up for that when they came to Western. So, hoping for them to leave a mark on their time here at Western that says, hey, we won that rivalry game. This is something that we can put our stamp on. And so, presenting it to them that way, and because we got a great bunch of seniors that are just great men, and so you want them to have that opportunity and see what's at stake. Yeah. Uh, Biggest thing for us is not trying to do too much because sometimes you try to do something real special, and because the guys are going to be hyped up, and then obviously you can throw the athletic differences out the window sometimes because kids will play above their potential in something like this, and emotions will be. high. So like I said before, if you try to put install too much this week, then you got kids that, they don't want to have to think while their adrenaline's going. It's got to be instinct. So, kind of limit the game plan a little bit and do what we do and do it really fast and do it really well. Well, for us, we've got two seniors on defense that have just really been playing well. Number two, James Lee is a defensive end for us and has been playing lights out. And he's a hometown kid that redshirted, and now he's really become a force. And I'm so proud of him. And then Roosevelt Calhoun, another senior that is. And then we have two. Uh, Players on offense that came this year. Number two, Reggie Colson. He's one of the top leaders in receiving uh, this year for the Lone Star Conference. And then obviously our quarterback, CJ Fowler. Uh, those guys have really been special and they put in some work and they're special athletes. They're all got a different story, all have different backgrounds, completely different people. But it's cool. They're representing Western and they're doing it well and they're playing at a high level. Yeah. That's a good question. You know, football is one of those things where it's not like, coming from the Dallas Metroplex, football is everything. The stadium is huge. Um, Football here is just kind of a toughness thing. It's not some glamorous that that maybe kids were in the Texas area in some high schools. They really look at it as a glamorous thing. This is more of um, tough guy, hard nosed football, and it's kind of our community. Silver City is now they're mine copper and kind of that blue collar type thing, and that's kind of what it is. Even the high schools around here don't have huge numbers, but the kids that are here, they're tough and they've got a toughness about them. A lot of them are going to play both ways. And so I think our college has a little bit of that DNA in it too, where these guys are tough kids. They might not have the highest vertical, best 40, but they're tough and they're not afraid to keep playing. That's really been a trademark of our team that I've seen. When you don't win that many ball games, but your guys are still fighting in the fourth quarter. That's kind of it's kind of it's so commendable on their part, and it's fun to watch because you got kids that kind of the Rocky Balboa, um, kind of that personality of, dude, is this guy human? Why is he still hitting me like this? And that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. And our training room is full of guys that are banged up and bruised up, but they'll keep firing. Sure. You bet. Thanks, John. Cool. Well, very neat. Our kids love that stuff, so that's great. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. No. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.